I want to welcome you to the College of Business Virtual Candidates Day. My name is Katrina Zalatan, and I am the Associate Dean for undergraduates here in the College of Business. And on behalf of the entire Lehigh Business community, we'd like to welcome you to our Virtual Candidates Day and congratulate you on your acceptance to Lehigh Business. That's a wonderful thing. I'm going to start with a very big overview. So I'm going to tell you the degrees that we offer, and that backbone of an outstanding curriculum you're going to get through your 4 years. And the reason I'm doing that is to show you how Lehigh is distinctive. And I'm also giving you a really nice context. So when those faculty appear on the screen after my brief overview, you'll have a real good grounding to start asking them really good questions to get the information you need to inform your choices. So in terms of our degrees, we have 3 in the College of Business. They're listed on your screen. The biggest one is this first one, the Bachelor of Science in Business and Economics. And when I say big, we're still only talking about 1,300. So it's really not that big compared to other schools, but big enough. And we're very proud of the size of our program. That's the degree where you can do a nice core business program and specialize in 1 or 2 areas like accounting or business information systems and many other majors that you'll hear about on this call. The other 2 degrees also have that really terrific business core, but they're integrated with engineering. So the first degree, the Rosslyn College for Engineering and Applied Science here at Lehigh. So the first one is the Computer Science and Business degree, or what we affectionately call the Csb degree. There might be some Csb students on this call today, so hello. That degree integrates both core in computer science and the core in business and culminates in a really nice capstone experience where you create projects, computer science projects, programming projects, development projects for clients. And that program is really unique in that it's both AACSB accredited, as are all these 3 business degrees, but it's also accredited by ABET, who is the engineering accreditation. So 1 degree, 2 accreditations. It's just really unique in the marketplace. The other is our honors program called Integrated Business and Engineering. And that program also has the core in engineering and the core in business and culminates in a product development project over 2 semesters for clients or to build dreams of the students. I believe there's an IBE session happening concurrently right now, so we may not have a lot of IBE students, but some students do apply to this program if that meets your interest in the freshman year to start in the sophomore year. So just something to know about as an option. So, what makes these programs distinctive is our business curriculum design. And every school is going to have something different, but we're really proud of what we have to offer. The first distinctive feature across all our degree programs is they tend to be a 4-year program. And when I say tend to be, that's because for some students, they may start IBE a little bit later or choose to switch into CSB and the like. But a 4-year program is our emphasis, and we have a real good reason. So for some schools that you're looking at, and I'm pretty sure you're probably looking at other schools for those of you who haven't decided yet. But what makes Lehigh special is we have you start in the first year and work through. So some schools have you go in general studies in the first year and then move into the sophomore year in the business school. Some of them have you do general studies for 2 years and then go in your junior and senior year. But we have it throughout all 4 years, because I guess the longer you do business, the better you're going to get at it, and the more opportunity you have to fit in the experiences that really round out your education. So in the first year, it's a very robust program across our degree programs, but in the Bachelor of Science in Business and Economics program, which probably most of our audience is in, you'll see we really pack in a lot of really important foundational business instruction. So you are going to learn things about the foundations of business. I lead that course, and I'm particularly proud of the projects that our freshmen work on together in teams. They get to connect with alumni. They start to research professions. They start to connect with faculty. And it's a really exciting way to get a nice preview of what's ahead in the business school. We also have our economic environment. You're going to learn about economics right from the start, so you start to understand our business context. Tools of analysis, we value those highly for critical thinking, calculus, statistics, those tools that you're going to take and that thinking you're going to take ahead throughout the rest of the program. Also, we recently revised our program about a year or so ago, including what we call critical sequences that employers have been telling us are really important, not only for work today, but work into the future. So we're looking at things like business analytics and business communication skills, how to present yourself, management and leadership skills. And we start those in the first year so you can be grounded in them, but we call them sequences because we revisit them. You revisit them in the classroom in your junior year. So you take Business Analytics 1 in the freshman year, and then Business Analytics 2 in the junior year, and you really get a chance, here you are, you learn the basics in your freshman year, you work on those skills, you come back as juniors when you're starting your majors and really start to develop those skills well. Another thing that starts in your freshman year is our student to professional program, and we're really proud of this. This particular program is where you learn the skills that help you take your experiences from the classroom and then use those to decide what you're going to be doing in the future, and then how you can get to that first destination after graduation. So we're talking about skills like, how do you do an interview? How do you do an interview to get information? How do you do interviews to get an internship? How do you do a resume? How do you do LinkedIn? And we start those actually in the first year in classes. So in our Foundations of Business, or Biz 1, you start in the classroom. And in business communication, you start in the classroom, because we want to make sure everybody gets that grounding. As you move into the sophomore year, it becomes more what we call co-curricular. So you're not doing it in the classroom, but it's an organized course of learning that happens right alongside your curriculum with our fabulous faculty. So the student to professional program is really neat, integrated in what we do. Another important tool to help you make those choices about what do you want to specialize in, right? Right now, there's this big world of business. You might even think you know what you want to do, but there's so many things you could do. We require in the College of Business at Lehigh, this is so unique, we require that every student takes the introductory course in every major. I'm going to say that again, because that's really unique. We require that you take the introductory course in every major, and it's very rigorous because that means that if you want to be an accountant, you're still going to take the marketing that a marketing major, a prospective marketing major would want to take. Or if you think you want to be in finance, but you're still going to take the management course, that's the introductory management courses that a management major would take. And we think that's really important, not only to give you those skills to make you well-rounded and to help you make business decisions better, because business decisions are messy and you might have to bring in learning from different fields, but it also helps you choose your major. So at Lehigh, if you're in the Bachelor of Science in Business and Economics degree, you don't declare your major until the end of your sophomore year. So you can have one or two majors, or what we call majors or specializations, so accounting, business information systems, and the like. And you can do up to 2 of those specializations. But think about it, here you are, you learn about the fields, you start talking to alumni, you're taking this professional development program, you're beginning to take the courses in every major, you declare your major, and boy, does that set you up to be able to do internships and externships and other kinds of experiences that really prepare you for what you're going to want to do ahead in your life. I will also say that a unique feature are our capstones. And by capstone, I mean courses, and in the Bachelor of Science in Business and Economics degree, that would be our strategic management class. And so here you are, you're taking all these foundations, you're learning about the majors, you're doing your own specialization. And as a seniors, you all come together to run a business. And in the Bachelor of Science in Business and Economics, that would be our Management 301 class. Students come together, they run a simulated business. In CSB, they're developing software tools or applications to meet business needs for real clients. In integrated business and engineering, they're designing products that could be developed and used in real businesses, or perhaps the beginning of an entrepreneurial venture. So there are a lot of ways that our students do this, but we're really proud that across our degree programs, our students have that opportunity for a capstone experience, regardless of what their major is. Now, I've talked a lot about business, right? I'm a business school, right? Business is what we're here to talk about. But I'll tell you that 40% of the Bachelor of Science in Business and Economics degree, our largest degree, is taken outside the College of Business. So what that means is that you are going to be taking courses in psychology and history, and we don't pre-prescribe them. So unlike other institutions, we don't tell you what you need to take. We will say you need a small proportion in humanities, in the social sciences, and in the natural and physical sciences, so you get that breadth of understanding ways of knowing that are really important to develop you as a whole person and as a well-informed, educated person. you have a lot of choice. In the Bachelor of Science in Business and Economics degree, 33 of your 124 credits are taken outside. So if you like that history course in high school and you're wondering if you could do something with that and continue that study, you could do a minor. Psychology, you could do a minor. Maybe you like marketing and want to do a dual degree. There's so many different options. And the advisors who you can meet later on today are really good advocates and helpers to help you make sure that you can get everything in that you want to achieve. So with that, here we have this wonderful framework. You see our curriculum, you kind of get a general sense of the program. I'm going to stop my share, and I am going to ask our faculty who are present here today to turn on their cameras. And if you look at your agenda, you'll see who they are. We are blessed today to have department chairs, well-known scholars, you name it. They're here today to be able to answer your questions. And because we have so many people on the screen, I think the way we're going to do it is, why don't we start in alphabetical order by your department? So that would start us with accounting. And if you could just introduce yourselves, tell students why Lehigh. And then after we do that, we'll open it up for Q&A. Students, as you hear things, put them in the, oh, wow, this is a great group. We're already seeing questions in the Q&A box. That's good. Admissions, you made good decisions here in terms of who you've accepted. This is great. So why don't we start? Professor Cloyd?
Yeah, thank you. Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, I guess it is now. My name is Brian Cloyd. I'm chair of the Department of Accounting in the College of Business here at Lehigh. And I just want to say a few words about what makes our accounting program so special, and to give you some specific examples of the really unique things that happen here. The three basic elements are outstanding faculty, incredible alumni who have a very visible presence on campus, and highly motivated students. So I'll talk about each of those in turn. In our faculty area, my colleagues are just incredibly committed to excellence in the classroom in terms of teaching and mentoring students outside of class, and to supporting our co-curricular programs. They also are very productive in their research, which helps to enhance what they can provide in terms of information in the classroom, as well as the stature of our program and the college at large on a national and international stage. Our accounting faculty regularly win outstanding teaching awards, and just as a recent example of that, in yesterday's college award ceremony for undergraduate teaching awards, both went to accounting faculty. So let me turn now to our alumni base. Lehigh has, particularly in accounting, I think one of the most incredibly successful alumni bases around. And one of the ways that our alumni give back and are directly connected to the student experience is through their participation in the Siegel Accounting Distinguished Speaker Series. Now, that speaker series, which you can take as a freshman in your fall semester, is something extremely unique to Lehigh. It's a one-credit class, and every Wednesday afternoon, you will meet a highly distinguished business executive with an accounting background. Many are alums, but not all. So as an example, we've had members recently from the Financial Accounting Standards Board, CEOs of major corporations, CFOs of major corporations, people that started their careers in accounting but went on to become the chief legal counsels in-house at major companies like DuPont and Amazon. So where you can go with an accounting degree is just amazing. And one of the things that you would learn from sitting through the Siegel Accounting Distinguished Speaker Series is how many places you can go with that accounting knowledge. Really, the world is your oyster. There's that it performs such a great, or provides such a great base to work throughout the business environment. So I want to make another plug for that, because I'm hoping you're all going to be at Lehigh in August, and I really want you to register for this class, because through hearing the stories of these 12 highly accomplished execs, you will learn a lot of things that will benefit you. You'll hear some common themes that likely apply to everyone, including yourselves, in terms of guidance as to how to manage your career. And you'll also learn some things that are unique. You may be inspired by their stories, and that inspiration is going to be very instrumental in giving you the motivation to do well yourself throughout your college career and beyond. So please take advantage of this opportunity and connecting with alumni. The third thing that is one of the cornerstones of our successful program are, of course, the students. We have incredibly talented and motivated students, and they bring a lot to the table in enhancing the experience for everyone else. So my advice here is, when you get to Lehigh, connect with the best students around you. They will also inspire you and challenge you and enable you to get much more out of the Lehigh experience than you would if you did not connect with them. They will enhance your ability to learn. And our students do a great job in learning. Some metrics of that success is their extremely good performance on the CPA exam. Lehigh regularly ranks in the mid-teens nationally in terms of our overall student success on the CPA exam. We regularly have students who receive the Elijah Watt Sells Award, which is for basically kicking the CPA exam out of the water. Basically, you have to get a 95.5% on all 4 parts the first time you take the exam, which is incredibly difficult to do. We also have opportunities within our program for our students to enhance their leadership skills. We have 2 student organizations, the Accounting Club, which you can start with in your first semester, and then you can become an officer in the Accounting Club in your second year. So I've seen so many students who take advantage of the Accounting Club and becoming an officer in the Accounting Club. That is a platform to sort of launch themselves into things greater throughout their career and once they graduate, or throughout their college career and once they graduate from Lehigh. Our second student organization, Beta Alpha Psi, is a national, international honor society. For that, you have to have a certain GPA, and you'd be invited to join that in your junior year. But both of these organizations really enhance the student experience, and it's through Lehigh students helping each other and their leadership of these organizations that so much fruit is brought to bear. Our student outcomes are really among the best that you would find anywhere. About 80% of our undergrad students choose to start their careers in business directly after the undergrad program. Most of them go to work with Big 4 firms, others with some Wall Street firms. About 20% choose to remain for the master's program or to go to a master's program at another university. Something unique that's happened in the last 2 years, because of some changes in the requirements at the Financial Accounting Standards Board, we've had students go directly to the Financial Accounting Standards Board as a postgraduate technical assistant, where they can become involved for 1 year, it's a 1-year program, involved in standard setting, in connecting with members of the board, and really, they're all very high-level accomplished folks. So that's something else that I would encourage you, if you're interested in accounting, by the time you're a senior, start talking to your faculty about possible interest in working with the Financial Accounting Standards Board for a year. That would be a great way to start. So in summary, I think our accounting program is one of the best in the country. Accounting faculty around the country agree with that. On a size-adjusted basis, we're ranked in the latest poll of accounting faculty nationally as the 3rd strongest program in the country. I think they got that wrong by 2 places because we're probably first, but we're in good company. So I look forward to questions that you might have about accounting in a few minutes, but I also look forward to seeing you in August here on campus. Thank you.
Okay, so it's my turn now. So hi, everyone. My name is David Payne. I'm the professor and the chair in the Decision and the Technology Analytics Department. So first of all, I would like to congratulate you for being accepted to Lehigh University. What a great university and what a great opportunity, right? So here we are. And we know some of you already accepted our offer, and the rest, we're trying to show you what could, what great programs and experience we can offer to actually allow you to actually develop yourself and get the career choices you prefer, right? So we have talked about a lot of great things from Dean Zlatan and the Professor Cloyd. I'm going to say that overall, we are a great business school. We have the one thing I like it a lot is the size. Dean Zlatan said, we're not too big, we're not too small. We're at a sweet spot, which contrasts with my experience in other universities, which had a much larger business schools. But I would say the experience here at Lehigh College of Business is day and night better, right, than the one before. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about the programs in my department, the student experience, the curriculum, and the internship opportunities, and so on, to get you some ideas about the majors that we offer. Okay, here we're not competing with other majors, but I want to show you what we have to offer. Now, you look at our department, we're a little bit different. Now, you look at the title of the department, we are Decision and Technology Analytics. So you're going to ask, what are you, right? You're not finance, you're not accounting, you're not marketing. So we are at the center or at the intersection of business and technology. So we offer two majors. One is Business Information System, and the other is Supply Chain Management. If you recall the great presentation made by Dean Zlatan a moment ago, so we have those critical sequences, right, including business analytics, communication, and management and leadership. So our department support a lot of the business analytics courses at the college-wide. But furthermore, we actually offer additional, more in-depth curriculum in business analytics and information systems. Those would include additional, for example, programming courses in R and Python programming, and in artificial intelligence, cloud computing, database management, and so on. So that's part of the curriculum we offer, and that's a lot of the core courses in the business information systems. And the other major we have is supply chain management. And you may not be familiar with supply chain, but it is the end-to-end process that starts from the source of the material all the way down to the consumers. Think about the COVID-19 vaccine, right? So the whole process of managing the development of the vaccination to distribution to administering the shots to you. So the whole process is actually managed by the supply chain function, right? So that's the supply chain management. Now I'll tell you why our department major is unique. You look at what are the Lehigh College of Business is known for. We have big finance major. We have big accounting major. Those are great majors, no question about it. But in my view, I think our majors, BIS, Business Information Systems, and Supply Chain Management, are as better or as good or perhaps better, at least in my view, right, than those majors. Now, one thing I will say is our majors are not superly big, right? You look at finance, it's the largest major on Lehigh campus. Now, our major is smaller. Now, you look at the business information systems, we're at perhaps around 100. And supply chain management is actually much smaller. I would say it's close to 40, 35, 40. However, the advantage of a smaller major, if you look at a supply chain, for example, we have a Center for Supply Chain Research, which interfaces with industries. We have an advisory board that consists of about 10 plus companies. And each semester, we'll have a supply chain management symposium, and practitioners will present their, the best practices. Professors will present their research, and students get to see the cutting-edge supply chain management practices, and to interact with faculty and the practitioners. And after that, we'll have a career fair, and you're looking at about 30 students and 10 plus companies recruiting just the supply chain majors. Okay, so think about the career opportunities, and you could get through there. So in terms of internship opportunities, for example, the supply chain major, we have apparently the career service, right? That's offering the internship opportunity. But through our advisory board, through our Center for Supply Chain Research, we have additional opportunities to get the internship opportunity, to get the internship positions. And for the BIS major, Business Information Systems, I was just looking at some statistics from our center, provided to me by our Center for Career and Professional Development. Just the last 10 months or so, less than a year, you look at the business analytics and the information system related opportunities. There are hundreds of them. I still have that Excel spreadsheet there, 700 to be exact, and from 160, I believe 170 unique companies, right? So the career opportunities there in the business information systems and analytics. It's a growing field. The data is everywhere, and every sectors, no matter which sector you are, what companies, what business you do, you need people who understand the business process and then the technology that support those processes. So I believe we can offer, the skill sets that would allow you to find job opportunities in those areas. And the curriculum-wise, a lot of our courses are project and driven and team-based, because we teach, for example, courses that allow you to develop a technology programming systems, right? So you would work in teams to understand the business needs and then develop an apps or software aspects of it, and then to support and to enable those processes. So it's a lot of experiential based learning and team based learning, okay, in our curriculum. And finally, Professor Cloyd mentioned the leadership experience. Similarly, we have the Supply Chain Management Club. We have the Business Information Systems Club, and students can actively involve there, to take the officer roles starting in their sophomore year. And it is an opportunity for them to interact with practitioners as well, to interact with alumni, to invite people to give talk to our students. So we similarly offer that kind of leadership development opportunities. So that I believe, hopefully I have given you some information in terms of the major we provide and the curriculum, the career opportunities of the majors in our department, and some of the experience you may want. And by the way, it's another related point is research, right? Just yesterday, actually, we had the Supply Chain Management Symposium, and faculty presented the research. I actually presented research about the blockchain and in the e-commerce supply chain. And this is kind of project we can involve even students to join our efforts. And we have the member advisory board, and the companies are very willing to support this kind of projects, right? So I hope I have given you some information, more information about my department and the majors, and I will be glad to answer more questions if we have time, right? I'll be glad to address more questions, and thank you.
We're going to have time. I see the questions are already coming in. Students, keep putting your questions in. I'm looking forward to answering some of these as we get moving forward. Professor Chow, you're next.
Hi, my name is Shinji Cho. I'm a professor and chair of economics department. So first of all, congratulations on getting to Lehigh. So now that means tell you why I think what makes Lehigh Business special. So I think the one very unique feature of Lehigh Business is to have economics department in the College of Business. So if you look around, most of economics departments are not in the College of Business. So that really makes a unique feature of Lehigh Business. We not only provide an opportunity for business students to major in economics, we also provide 2 degree programs in economics and 1 joint program in international relations and economics to students in the College of Arts and Sciences. Because we have to serve a wide variety of students with very distinct interest. So we have developed economics undergrad curriculum that not only provides in-depth learning, but also interdisciplinary learning. so that we can satisfy students with a wide range of interests. And certainly being in the College of Business, we always have a business focus in mind when we design our courses or curriculum. So let me tell you a little bit about our faculty interest. So the economics faculty represents an unusually wide range of specialties. And we offer more than 30 elective courses on a regular basis, ranging from economics of business decision, microfinance, econometrics, game theory, to more modern electives such as economics of the sports industry and behavior economics. So through those electives, our students will build a strong academic background in economics for application to the real world and learn important skills in statistical analysis and data analytics. We also provide opportunities for experiential learning. So we have a very popular Fed Challenge competition. It is a team competition for undergrad students. Teams will analyze economic and financial conditions and formulate a monetary policy recommendation, modeling the Federal Open Market Committee. In addition to teaching, most of our faculty members are research active. So we have built a well-known research area in health economics and health policies. So 3 health economists in our department are research associates at the National Bureau of Economic Research, which is the most prestigious economics research organization in the world. So we, in addition, we are the only department in College of Business that provides a PhD program. So we have a very strong research powerhouse to engage our economics major to our research projects. We offer an honors program that gives our top economics majors the option to write an independent thesis with our faculty member on a one-to-one basis. In fact, if you are not interested in honor thesis, we actually have many courses that require students to write an empirical paper. So we have been amazed by how our students come up with creative ideas, find appropriate data, execute empirical analysis, and write a paper. So, I'm looking through the title of the papers in, some of our econometrics courses, I can give you some examples. So like students look at the returns to investment in education, or factors that influence NBA players' salary in 1995 regarding different court positions, analyzing the rating system for NFL quarterbacks, education level and college access, analyzing the effect of marriage on NBA wages. So there are many, many creative ideas, but the most important thing is that students learn how to come up with ideas, find appropriate data, and then perform some empirical analysis. Because our curriculum allows exploration of a variety of disciplinary and interdisciplinary learning and provides students hands-on learning and research opportunities. So it is not surprising to see that our majors are also very successful in a wide variety of careers. Certainly, the most common career path for our majors is to work in the private sector after they graduate. So for example, they work in the finance and insurance sector, corporate world, and consulting firms, including companies such as Goldman Sachs, Citigroup, JP Morgan, Chase, Vanguard, Geico, Amazon, and PricewaterhouseCoopers. We also have majors that choose to work in the public sector. So examples include the Federal Reserve System, EPA, United Nations, or Department of Agriculture. One unique feature about economics major is that economics major is also one of many common paths to law school. So we have students that went to Duke, UPenn, and Drexel law schools in the past. We also have students who decide to pursue advanced careers in advanced degrees in economics, public policy, or strategy by attending graduate schools. So to give you some concrete examples, we hosted a virtual Young Alumni Career Night organized by our student club, Economic Society, last fall. So our panelists include 3 who are currently employed at Johnson & Johnson, KPMG, Delancey Street Partners, and one who was formerly with the Federal Reserve Board and now is studying at Columbia Law School. So this is an exam to show you a wide variety of career choices for our majors. So I think I'm going to stop here, and I will be very happy to answer any questions later.
I'd encourage students to continue putting questions in the question and answer box. There are a lot of good ones, and we're going to be getting to those as soon as we hear from our faculty. Lots of good questions, I'll tell you. Professor Nair?
So, good afternoon, everyone. First of all, congratulations on being accepted to Lehigh. Some of you have decided to come. Some of you are still thinking about it. Well, your attendance here has shown me that you're doing finance. Why are you doing finance? Because you're doing due diligence right now. In the language of finance, you're doing due diligence. What does due diligence mean? You are investigating, you're researching to see whether to invest in Lehigh or not. So that's a sound strategy. That's a sound finance strategy. You're examining the pros and the cons of whether to invest the next 4 years and dollars of tuition into coming here. That's finance in a nutshell. But of course, you have to take courses, right? Which is where we come in. So let me tell you a little bit about the finance program, the finance department, and so on. My colleagues have talked about, their different departments and what they can offer. So I have to toot our horn also a little bit, okay? So as Dr. Payne said, finance is the largest major here in the business school, not only in the business school, but in the whole of Lehigh University. So we have the strength in numbers, which really helps because we have a solid presence in the financial services arena, given our small school status. Okay, so what else has happened here? We have a dedicated faculty, as Dr. Cloyd said, in accounting. In finance, we also have a solid faculty. We have faculty who have lots of industry experience as well. We have Kathleen Hanley, for example, who, as you might find out, Kathleen Hanley was the Deputy Chief Economist at the Securities and Exchange Commission. We have Paul Brockman, our Senior Associate Dean, who was an options trader. He actually traded options, so he knows what he's talking about when he teaches derivative securities. Professor Hanley teaches the Financial Markets and Institutions class, where she teaches about institutional details, such as laws and regulations in finance. She set some of those regulations, so she knows what she's talking about, okay? I teach the financial modeling class for investment banking. In a typical time, is the video frozen or are we good? All right, okay. In a typical time, I teach the class in the financial services lab where students are creating models on the fly, on the computer in the lab. So we have students who are actually practicing the skills that they need when they get to the workplace. So teaching is prime importance here in the finance department. I make sure that the faculty concentrate on their teaching and they deliver a very high quality product. This is really important. So that's what you're buying, number one. So secondly, what else do you get? We have phenomenal extra and co-curricular activities. The Financial Services Lab, and I would urge you to visit that at least virtually for now, but when you come to campus, you should go and see that. We have all kinds of databases there that students get their hands dirty with. They're working with hardcore data. The courses that we have created use that data to create assignments. So students are working on assignments with the data in the Financial Services Lab. We have 12 Bloomberg stations to work on. And those are, a very valuable tool. We have Bloomberg certifications. We have Thomson Icon certifications that students do to enhance their resumes. That gives them real life valuable skills that they can take to the workplace. The Thompson certification is actually conducted by a person from Refinitiv, which sort of creates these databases. So they come to campus and they deliver these sessions to us. That used to be the case before COVID, of course, but now everything is online, but we hope to be migrating to that fairly soon. Now, apart from the faculty and apart from the programs, what other co-curricular activities do we have? Let me talk to you briefly about that. We have 3 student-managed investment funds. They manage hard money for the university endowment. These 3 endowment funds, they have different levels of focus. One is the Dreyfus Fund. The Dreyfus Fund is a pretty much free-for-all type investing activity. They can invest in options, they can invest in derivatives, they can short shares and equities. So that's the most advanced form of investing because it allows a pretty much free rein. The second one is the Thompson International Portfolio. There, they only invest in international equities. The third one is the Investment Management Group. That is open to freshmen. So freshmen can participate in sort of choosing equities and so on. So that's primarily a pure equity fund. Now, what is so special about investment funds? We have investment funds in many, many universities. What we have added on is that since this is part of the endowment, these funds have to report to the chief investment officer of the university, just like the asset managers at Blackstone or at BlackRock would have to do. So they have to create a presentation to the chief investment officer of the endowment fund. And believe me, Kristen Agathon, the chief investment officer, does not go easy on these students. So they're grilled and they're barbecued with some nice sauce on top of that. And so these students get a real hard look at what they can face when they go into the real world. That's what you're buying. Next, let's talk about our alumni. We have the largest alumni affinity group at Lehigh University. It's called the Wall Street Council. And they host events in New York City, as well as once a year, they hold something called the Financial Services Forum on campus here, normally, but this year they had to do it virtually. This is about an event where about 70 to 80 professionals come to campus in all the various areas in finance, sales and trading, equity research, investment banking, you name it, and they're here. And what we do is these alumni, they talk about the experiences, how to prepare for jobs in these areas, what you can expect when you enter these areas, and so on. So it's a deep dive into what to expect. It's also a great networking event, which our students make use of. And this really helps our students expand their horizons. And I don't think this is a very common experience across the country. Now, we also have the Finance Club. We also have lots of other things that we are doing right now. We also collaborate with other departments on campus. To be a finance major, we have 2 electives that you need to take in other areas. So you could do it in accounting, you could do it in BIS, you can do it in economics, you can do it in mathematics, you can do it in industrial engineering. So there's a lot of options here for students to expand their horizons beyond just the finance realm alone. One of the products of our collaboration with the BIS department, with the data department, is we've created something called the Fintech Miner. Fintech Miner is a unique opportunity for students to explore the areas of cryptocurrencies, of things like payment systems, of robo-advising, and so on. So it's a new fertile area, and we are trying to stay ahead of the curve on that. So I've given you a whole bunch of different things to think about what we offer in the finance curriculum. So you should think seriously about this. And this is a really valuable and huge decision on your part, trying to decide whether Lehigh is the right fit for you. You should do it you should carry out your due diligence here. Do it well. Think about the issues carefully. I will tell you that you will not make mistakes if you come here. The faculty are caring. The Dean Zalatan's office is phenomenal in helping out students. So make the right choice. Good luck to you wherever you decide to go.
I'll tell you right now, the first question we got is, could you change majors once you come to Lehigh? So apparently there's some thinking about this. Yes, you can. You can move between majors. You don't have to reapply to the school or anything. You have that option. And actually a lot of majors dovetail nicely with each other. So as you're listening to all these wonderful faculty, hopefully you'll find the right fit for you. And speaking of wonderful faculty, Dr. Belkin.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Liba Belkin, and I'm a faculty member in the Department of Management. I've been at Lehigh almost 15 years, and I can truly say that this is a very unique place. So I would like to talk a little bit about Lehigh first overall, and then a little bit about Department of Management. It is hard to talk after this 4 passionate speeches from different faculty from different departments. But what differentiates Lehigh from other schools, number one, excellent and passionate faculty that knows their subject, knows how to teach, but also really passionate about mentoring and teaching students. Cutting edge research. Most of our faculty engaged and published in the top science journals. And then our faculty firmly grounded in business realities. You've heard from other departments already, but from the standpoint of management, we have a lot of professors who actually, on top of teaching and research, they engage in consulting. We have some professors who advise startups. We have professors who regularly sit on board of CEOs and advise them with leadership skills. And in terms of teaching, for example, besides multiple teaching awards from Lehigh and College of Business, we have in our Department of Management 3 faculty members that won top 50 undergraduate business professors in the world, myself included, last year, which I'm very happy about. But this tells you that, again, it's not just knowledge of the subject, it's also passion for teaching. We also have faculty in our department who are very innovative in designing their courses. And what's unique about our department, we teach broad skills, and we also teach specific skills. So if you look at Financial Times recent survey in terms of skills gap, what are companies are looking for? What are the most important skills, and what are the hardest, most difficult skills to recruit? The answers are ability to work in a team, and we actually teach that, faculty from our department, ability to work with a wide variety of people, ability to influence others, ability to solve complex business problems, ability to build and sustain and expand network of people, and also time management and prioritizing tasks. Also strategic thinking, analytical skills, and that's where we collaborate with faculty from different departments. So faculty from our department teaches these general skills that are absolutely critical to succeed in any field you choose. But we also teach, we have 3 tracks. We teach specific skills if you would like to pursue career, for example, in human resources. And it's one of the most fastest growing and kind of most in-demand professions right now. We also offer a track in management consulting. And then recently we developed a 3rd track in entrepreneurship and innovation. So with that said, I highly encourage you, if you're still thinking, I'm suspecting you're already deciding come to Lehigh, and that will be the right decision. I really hope to see you all in August, and I'm looking forward to your questions later today. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Belkin. I'm seeing several questions from students about integrated business and engineering and computer science, and if they can switch into the Bachelor of Science in Business and Economics and vice versa, and whether they have the same core. I will say that the core in the business school is when you learn about these different business areas is taught by the people here. Whether you're in any of these three programs, you will be taking courses from these departments. And we could talk a little bit more about how the majors are configured and the like, but all degrees will have that. And there is a very smooth process for movement if necessary, but the folks represented here today do teach in the majors, but we also have their courses all the way from the freshman year, as Professor Payne and Professor Belkin were mentioning. So we have business throughout, and that's a wonderful segue. Oh, yep.
Yeah, sorry, Dean Zalman, I just saw the question, right, because I just finished speaking in terms of what kind of companies management majors went to work, and off the bat, CD, IBM, Estée Lauder, Aspen Group, Fab, KPMG, New American Marketing, IMS Health, Campbell's, and on and on and on. So we have wide variety of companies, and a lot of people are taking management majors, a double major with other majors, or again, going to human resources in any industry they would like.
Great.
Thank you.
Professor Siva Kumar.
Greetings. My name is Siva. I'm a faculty member in marketing. I had the privilege of playing some role in setting up the current marketing department in 2005. So I have been here for 20 years. It is my feeling that every single year, it is becoming more and more difficult to get into Lehigh. So you should all be proud of your getting accepted into Lehigh. Okay, I'm a marketing faculty member, therefore I will be talking from the marketing perspective, but as you have seen, we have outstanding programs in all departments. So one of the issues with speaking as the last speaker is that everything that needs to be said has already been said. Therefore, I am really not going to talk about top international research awards won by our faculty. I am not going to talk about college and university level teaching awards won by our faculty. I don't want to talk about the up-to-date and the career-friendly curriculum that we have. I don't want to talk about experiential learning opportunities such as the marketing club, Lehigh in Belgium, all that. Those things you can easily look them on the web, and then you'll be able to figure that out. So I want to talk about one particular theme, which is applicable to marketing, and perhaps it is applicable to other departments as well. One thing that we faculty think about our students is that our students typically will have 40 years plus career after they finish their undergraduate degree. Therefore, we are not training you for your first job. We are training you for long-term success. Some of you might have heard about Wayne Gretzky's quote. A good hockey player plays to where the puck is, and a great hockey player goes towards where the puck is going to be. So that is the approach that we take. We are interested in providing you a strong foundation for a long-term success and impact. So how do we do that? We do it in 3 different ways from a marketing perspective. Number one, we offer highly flexible career options. If somebody thinks that they are good in statistics and analysis, we have marketing analytics as a career. Somebody thinks that they are interested in creativity, advertising, we have marketing communications as a career. Somebody thinks that they are a people person, we have a sales as a career. Similarly, retailing, new product development, brand management. So marketing accommodates wide variety of career options. That is number one. Second approach that we take is that even though we teach functional knowledge, we recognize that marketing has to work with other disciplines. We try to approach this in a holistic sense. And this is being highly helped by some of our faculty backgrounds. For example, in my case, my undergraduate degree is in mechanical engineering. My master's degree is in rural management. and PhDs in marketing. And I have worked in R&D, new product development, advertising, all that. So therefore, when we are teaching in the class, number one, we are not talking only about theory. We link theory with practice. Number two, we are not only talking about marketing, but we are talking about how marketing is related with other disciplines. So that is the second point. The third point is we in marketing try to emphasize that we need to combine knowledge and judgment. These days with internet, you can get knowledge everywhere. So part of our job as a faculty is to teach you why of things and how of things. Therefore, which theory applies where. So the idea of having great success in your career is applying knowledge and judgment in the proper fashion. And our faculty try to emphasize that in whatever course they teach. Okay. Therefore, just to give a quick summary, we are interested in providing a long-term successful career path for you. And we do that by offering flexible career options, trying to emphasize the relationships across disciplines, and by focusing on combining knowledge with judgment. I hope we believe that education is co-creation between students and faculty. We are going to embark on this journey together, and I hope you will join us. Thank you.
Terrific. Well, thank you very much, faculty. We're now turning to our question and answer. We have a lot of questions. So I'm going to just start. There's a lot of interest from students with questions about kind of experiences and internships. And I will say, students, we will have our student panel. Students can talk about what they did. We do have our career services at the last panel of the day, but our faculty here today could probably give some really nice insight into what kind of experiential learning do students do? We already heard a little bit about that from you. When and what kind of internships do students do? It varies across the departments, but I'm sure every department has some insight into what they do. And I know there's also the experiences of research that some students are doing, as in Professor Cho said, in economics. So tell us a little bit more about your experiential learning. And I guess the way we'll do it is just have you and Mike and talk, and because I'm sure you all have things to say. Professor Cloyd, looks like you unmuted first.
Yeah, most of our students take internships, and internship opportunities. I noticed was a question earlier, is there an internship opportunity as part of our curriculum? And technically the answer to that is no, but all of our students end up with internships because that's available through employers who so highly desire Lehigh grads. And the recruiting for jobs really begins quite early on. In accounting, it happens in the sophomore year. You interview for an internship that you will have between your junior and senior year in that summer. So that seems awfully early. And I think maybe one point that hasn't been made today is how important it is to understand the way firms in the industry you want to go to, the way that they are trying to recruit on campus, and get involved in that process very early. So that's a great opportunity to learn. We also have, I'm involved with the VITA program at Lehigh, Voluntary Income Tax Assistance. We're always looking for students who want to do the training to help other students, international students, do their tax returns that they're required to do. So that's another way of sort of getting some experience, but also serving a group of fellow students within the university.
Professor Nair, I see that you're unmuted. Do you have anything you'd like to add?
Oh, experiential learning takes place in many ways in the business school. I think that we have a lot of people who come and talk to our students, alumni who come and talk to our students. We have student projects that use real world data. Many of our faculty have done consulting projects, and they bring these projects into class to talk about. and have the students work on them. For example, I did a project where I did the examination of a leveraged buyout of a company called Ruby Tuesdays. And so what I had my students do was to sort of go and work on that on their own with the data that I was given to carry out the analysis. And they did a pretty darn good job replicating some of the work that was done and confirming the analysis. So I believe that there's a lot of experiential opportunities, but additionally, our Fintech Capstone class brings in a real world project for the students to work on. This semester, they're working on a project with a company called AIRE. AIRE is a company started by a Lehigh alum in the United Kingdom, and that looks at credit scoring models for people who don't normally get credit. So it's a pure data analytics combined with finance type project, and they're actually doing work for AIRE. Last year, the students came up with a project of how to create a payment system for certain areas of the economy that are underserved. Therefore, I think that there are a lot of experiential opportunities. The Fed challenge that Professor Chow talked about, it all depends on the student. How much do you want to get involved? If you want to get involved, there are more than ample opportunities here, but it starts with you.
Also, I think some of our classes involve projects with external clients. For example, our social media class has external clients, so projects are done actually for the clients. Our students have done projects for UN, for example. Our students have actually done projects for Boys and Girls Club. And our department is also highly successful in the fashion scholarship program. So every year is a national competition, and Lehigh has been winning this case competition. Somebody from Lehigh has already been obtaining scholarship the last just 15 years. In the last year, we got 6 winners from Lehigh. And this year, we had the top winner in the country from Lehigh. Yay! So we have a lot of opportunities there.
Wonderful.
Yeah. I maybe running out of time, right?
No, Professor.
Well, just real quick. I mean, I think a lot of my colleagues have talked about the experiential learning, and similarly in my department, I already mentioned a lot of our courses are based on developing systems or apps, right, for real world applications. I'll give you one example. In my class, I teach e-business enterprise applications. So we use SAP. It's a real SAP system, and students would basically managing business processes and creating transactions in the SAP software. And another class, which is BIS 311, which is systems analysis and design. Again, students will look at real world applications, and they will suggest, improvement or change or creating brand new systems. They're not actually implementing that whole system, but they would, our plan is to have them creating prototypes to show, where they might improve. For example, a system like a DoorDash or some other things. And in addition, of course, there are plenty of internship opportunities. Our supply chain major, actually, one of the trouble we have now is to having enough students to take those kind of opportunities instead of students not having, opportunities, right? Okay, I'll stop here.
There's a lot to do. Professor Chu, and we have both professors. Go.
Yeah. So I just want to mention first, the vice provost of a creative inquiry, that office always put out a lot of creative, interdisciplinary, and experiential learning courses that take students from various disciplines, and then they work on the real world projects. So if students are interested in that, absolutely, there are a lot of opportunities there. In addition to speaking for our department, in addition to the federal challenge competition, we also have this course, integrated learning experience project, where we focus on evaluating the possibilities of building athletic facilities at Lehigh. So, I know most of you have never had a chance to visit campus yet, but if you have a chance to visit Goodman campus, there's a sports sports complex on Goodman campus. That is the home to the Lehigh men's, women's lacrosse and soccer teams and women's field hockey team. And that complex was the initial IOE project coming from our one of our course. So we take students from architecture, we take students from civil engineering and economics students that work together to evaluate the potential projects. So that's another example of experiential learning course that we offer.
Professor Belkin?
And for the management major as well, depending on your track, you will have to take experiential courses, for example, small business consulting, or you take nonprofit, or if you're entrepreneurship and innovation major, you actually launch entrepreneurial ventures. There are several courses on that. But even if you take electives in the management major, and one of the courses I teach, negotiations and conflict management, which is also required for the supply chain management major, which I'm very happy about. It should be required for any major. Where I teach, it's very hands-on. I teach students from day one how to communicate with others and how to negotiate and resolve conflicts. And by week 3, 5, and then 10, I really see the development in communication and negotiation skills. And I have to warn you, parents, they start negotiating with you as well. So it's definitely money worth. So that's one of the examples of experiential learning, but we offer as well new leadership and team management courses where also students apply these skills they learn right there in the classroom with other people.
Now, I will say, not only parents, but employers. I know a lot of our students love to take your course before they get that offer. And we do have, they say it's very helpful. We do have, as I mentioned before, our career services experts at the last session today, and we will shoot out data about employment, and they can answer very specific questions about who comes to campus, where our students get connected, and they're really outstanding. We have a lot of folks in that area. I see some questions here about whether or not you could do dual degrees. How can you take courses that may interest you in business across different areas? Would any of you like to respond to that? I saw a question specific, Professor Chu, to the IR economics combination, maybe perhaps versus a dual degree. Would anybody like to take those questions? Okay, Professor Siva, Kumar?
Yeah, no, I think in my opinion, if you take 2 majors in business, it is a little bit easier proposition. You can do it with a little bit of little planning. But if you want to do majors across the university, it is possible. Many people do it, but you need to do some planning because you need to complete the core in both the colleges. So that is one area. When I am here, I want to answer a couple of questions that have been there. I'll take 30 seconds to answer them. One question was about entertainment industry. We don't have specific courses on entertainment industry, but the social media class and the other classes that we teach, analytics class, they all have relevance for entertainment industry. In fact, I am looking at the employer list. They had people gone to Comedy Central, Entertainment Channel, all that. Another question was about where do marketing students go? On our website, there's a long list of companies. I can read 3 or 4 right now, lack of time. Accenture, AT&T, Barnes & Noble, Comedy Central, First USA, General Electric, Johnson & Johnson, the list goes on. Please look at our website. We have a long list of companies where marketing students have gone.
Professor Payne?
Yeah, I'll add to that. Yes, I think double major or dual major is very doable, especially within the College of Business. In fact, if you're doing double major, you would actually have, if you plan very well, you may be actually double count 1 or 2 courses. So which would allow you to actually to be able to get 2 majors with 10 courses minimum, right? Actually, finance and the BIS, for example, double major is a quite popular combination. And we see some, for example, marketing and BIS double majors as well, right? And by the way, I think I forgot to mention, I mentioned that business analytics is a college level push. And many departments are also looking into that. We do have a college level business analytics certificate, which is a 4-course certificate that you would have opportunities to take business analytics related courses, not just in BIS, in economics, in finance, accounting, marketing, management, right? So that is, if you're saying, oh, I want to do more in business analytics, that's one option for you to consider.
I guess one of the things I'm hearing across all the faculty is that students, you can personalize your Lehigh experience. We have a lot of you see our little tagline, break boundaries, that we really mean that. Students have the opportunity with good advising to try to customize their curricula to the extent of the majors, or maybe these dual degrees across colleges to meet their interests. And the advising staff that helps you with that will be in the last session of the day, and they can certainly help answer those questions. They can also answer the question about college change. I see one, Ken, I come from arts and sciences into business. They're very well trained. Our key person who does that will be at that session. Professor Chu, do you want to talk a little bit about the economics, business, arts and sciences?
It is absolutely, it is absolutely possible to do dual degree, but you need some careful planning because you need to meet the requirements for business as well as the requirements for arts and sciences. So there will be a lot of courses that are not overlapped. But if you do say business in economics and you major in economics and then do joint IR Eco in arts and sciences, then there will be more overlapping courses that you can double count. So it really depends on what you want to do. If you do finance major in business and then joined IR Eco in College of Arts and Sciences, there will be less overlapping electives that you can double count. So it's absolutely possible, but you need to have very careful planning, and maybe you will need to take some courses in the summer.
Okay. So in our final,
also furthermore, I think the advising staff is terrific, but you should also use the faculty as resource people to decide what you want to do.
Absolutely. So in our final minutes, before we're going to be, after this session, we'll be moving to a very brief break before we have our student panel. I would just ask our faculty now to think of one word that they would like to leave as the closing word when you want them to think about Lehigh. And I will also say, in answer to the question, are we going to be videotaped? The answer is yes, we're taping this. It won't be put up onto the web until the end of April. And it will be up on the admitted student portal is where the information is. Okay, so now we've given our faculty a chance to think. Starting with accounting that begins with A. Professor Cloyd, what is your word?
My A begins with B, boundless.
Professor Payne. Oh, he's muted.
I think Professor Cloyd just taken what I wanted. I also want to say, I was about saying interdisciplinary, but that's basically the same as boundless. But just look at all those programs, right? CSB, CSE, and the flexibility of double major, between the college and across the college, and that whole experience. I would say maybe perhaps also adding to that is the experience. I would say what is about, right? The experience on campus. Which we can.
So Professor Payne has two majors in his department, so we'll let him have 2 words.
So, can I have 2 words then, please? Yeah.
Professor Cho, what's your word? What's your word?
Well, I would say endless, but it's similar to boundless. So I would say passion.
Okay, that sounds good. Professor Bilkin.
Can I have 2 words?
All right.
Word.
She's negotiating.
Okay, I'll add to what already have been said. So it's fun. So there is passion, there are opportunities, there's boundaries, and it's fun.
Okay, Professor Nayar.
Excitement. I think there's so much excitement going on here.
Oh, that's a good segue to the student panel. Professor Siva Kumar.
Yeah, I will use a hyphenated word, future-oriented.
Beautiful, future-oriented. I can't thank you enough, panel, for being here today. Our faculty are here on a Saturday, just as you are. They are phenomenal. I want to thank you for being here. Students and families, I would encourage you, we're going to take a brief break, and we will be reconvening at our next session at, I believe it's 1:25. And at that session, we have a wonderful group of student panelists. I encourage you to go there. the agenda that we sent to you. You can see who's there, but regardless of the student's major, they could tell you about the student experience. So we hope to see you there. I see their students are already signing in, so I know they're ready to go. So look forward to seeing you soon. I think admissions will be posting up the sign that will remind us when to come back. And again, thank you, faculty panel, for being here.
Bye-bye. Good luck.
Congratulations, everyone. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.